How about you, Sarah?
Um, so I kind of referred to this a little bit earlier, and my word that I put on my background is empowerment because that for me is like the reason why I went into social work, but specifically this work as well, this trauma work and everything that small talk does specifically. I think it takes like so much courage for children to be able to speak out against abuse. And for us to be able to say to them, like, your voice matters and you matter and we believe you is something that can make such a big difference in their lives when they've been told maybe multiple times before, like, your voice doesn't matter. So I think that's a big part of the reason why I love being involved with small talk. And I think specifically like being a counselor at small talk, I love to remind clients that like I'm not leading you on this healing journey. This is not my journey to take you on. This is yours that I'm going to walk alongside you for. And so to remind them like you're in charge of your healing and you can have that power and control back for yourself in your life, I think can make such a big difference in their healing process. So one thing that I was really thinking of when I chose that word was a quote from a client of mine who has finished now, but she was in treatment for a while and she worked really hard when she was coming to small talk. And she said to me when we were almost all done with treatment, she said, people said I could not escape. Well, look at me now. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, she gets it. Like she is back in control and she feels like she has this power again. And she had been through so much in her life, like way more than anybody, much less a child, should ever have to experience. And the bravery that she showed when she was trying to get herself and her family to a place of safety is just incredible, like so admirable. So for her to finally be able to say like, I did this and like I'm at this point, and for her to recognize that like she's at that point because of her voice, I think just like really nailed it in for me that like this is my why. And I love to see clients be able to get to that place. And I think specifically like small talk, just like the whole foundation of small talk is based on that concept of like empowering kids when, you know, we start by believing kids and we let them know through all of our actions that like you matter and your voice matters. So I think that's my why.
That's really cool because it reminds me of like I loved your kind of conceptualization of that you're not it's their journey to take. You're not there to guide them. You're just there to kind of walk beside them, which I think because that's kind of how I view myself as a therapist too. It's like I'm just a person who kind of gives you the map maybe, but then
Right.
you got to pick your route and how you're going to get there. And I can walk right beside you. And then I think another part of that is just having I mean, that's kind of what the CAC model is too, is it's this team of people who are walking beside this child. So like what Megan is talking about like going to court and having the prosecutor there and law enforcement and the victim advocates from the prosecutor's office and having, Megan there and a therapist there, like these, it always reminds me of just like thinking about the world before small talk and that kids just didn't have this like army of people to walk them through this process. And just the kind of like strength and empowerment that gives to a child, knowing that they have people who are rallying for them every step of the way. Like, I just think that's such a cool, I mean, you have the right people. How could you not be empowered by that? I think I don't know. It's just really incredible to think about.